Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop, thoughts rushing, worries colliding, emotions spinning out of control? It's like standing in the middle of a storm, the winds of anxiety screaming through your head, waves of negativity crashing over every thought. But what if I told you, somewhere inside that storm, there's a quiet place, a calm center that never moves? It's there right now, hidden beneath the noise, waiting for you to return. This journey is about finding that calm and learning how to live from it, no matter what's happening around you. How to stay calm and positive in life is not just another audiobook. It's a map, a guide to mastering your inner world. You'll discover tools drawn from science, psychology, and timeless wisdom, not to escape life's chaos, but to move through it with peace, power, and grace. So take a deep breath. In, hold, out. This is where it begins, your journey from noise to stillness. Let's begin. We all know that feeling when your mind feels like a battlefield. You try to relax, but your thoughts race faster. You try to think positive, but the noise inside only grows louder. It's chaos disguised as control. You're tired, not just in your body, but in your soul. Your mind jumps from the past to the future, replaying old regrets, rehearsing new fears, and somewhere in between, you forget to breathe. If this sounds familiar, you are not broken. You are human. Every storm begins the same way, with energy building, with pressure that has nowhere to go. And just like nature, your mind has its own weather. Sometimes it's calm and bright. Other times, it rages. But here's the truth. Most people never hear. You don't have to silence the storm. You just need to find the calm inside it. Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a hurricane. The winds roar. The world spins. But right at the center, the eye of the storm, there is perfect stillness. That's what true peace feels like. It's not the absence of noise. It's the ability to stay grounded while the noise moves around you. That stillness already lives within you. You've simply forgotten how to return to it. Close your eyes for a moment and notice what's happening inside your mind. Maybe it's busy. Maybe it's loud. Don't fight it. Just observe. Every thought is a wave. Every emotion, a gust of wind. Let them move. Let them pass. And then, beneath all of it, you'll begin to sense something steady, a quiet awareness that never leaves. That's your calm center. That's who you really are. You see, peace is not a reward for fixing everything. It's a practice, a wheel, a daily decision to come home to yourself. You don't find peace by controlling life. You find it by remembering you are not the storm. You are the sky. The storm passes. You remain. So, the next time anxiety hits pause, don't resist it. Don't run from it. Just say quietly, I see you. You can stay, but I will stay calm. This small moment of awareness is powerful. It breaks the automatic loop of panic and reaction. It gives your nervous system space to reset, and in that space, clarity begins to rise. Here's a simple practice you can start today. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, breathe in deeply for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Do this 3 times. This is not just a breathing exercise. It's a message to your body that you are safe. With every exhale, imagine the chaos dissolving. With every inhale, imagine peace returning. The more you practice, the faster your body will learn calmness is your default state. not chaos. And here's something most people forget. Your thoughts are not facts. They're just stories the mind tells to make sense of uncertainty. But you are the listener, not the voice. You get to decide which stories stay and which ones you let fade. True calmness doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. It means fear no longer controls the volume of your life. You can feel it, but you don't have to become it. When you start living from that awareness, everything begins to shift. Your relationships soften. Your decisions slow down. Even your voice sounds gentler. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You became the calm in your own storm. Remember this truth: you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Peace isn't waiting for a quieter world. It's created moment by moment within you, and it starts here. Now, with this breath, take a moment to feel that stillness. Let it sink in. Let it remind you nothing is wrong with you for feeling chaos. Chaos simply means energy is moving. Your job is not to stop it, but to guide it. In the next chapter, we'll uncover the secret to doing exactly that. You'll learn why the harder we try to control life, the more it controls us, and how to finally let go without losing your strength. So breathe one more time. Slow, gentle, real. You've just taken your first step into calmness. Welcome to the quiet within the storm. You felt it before. That urge to fix everything, to manage every outcome, to make sure nothing goes wrong. We chase control like it's the key to safety. But what if that very chase is what makes us feel unsafe? We try to control our jobs, our partners, our future, even our own emotions. We think if I can just handle it all, I'll finally be at peace. But peace doesn't live there, because the harder you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you squeeze too tight, it escapes. But when you relax your hand, the sand rests gently in your palm. That's the paradox of control. You only find calm when you learn how to let go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing what's worth your energy and what isn't. Here's a truth few people realize. Most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us, but from our resistance to what happens. We fight the rain instead of finding an umbrella. We argue with life instead of dancing with it. What if you stopped fighting for a moment? What if, just for today, you let things be exactly as they are without labeling them as good or bad? What if you trusted that life still holds you? Even when it's messy and unpredictable, there's a freedom waiting in that space. Think of a hurricane again. In the center, there's stillness. Not because the storm is gone, but because the center doesn't resist the wind. You can live like that. You can stay grounded while everything around you moves. Here's a simple practice to help you start. Take a piece of paper, draw 2 circles, one inside the other. In the inner circle, write down what you can control: your thoughts, your reactions, your actions, your words. In the outer circle, list what you cannot control: the opinions of others, the past, the weather, the timing of outcomes. Now look at those circles for a moment. Notice how small the inner circle seems compared to the outer one. But here's the secret: that small circle is where your real power lives. Every time you spend energy worrying about what's in the outer circle, you drain your inner strength. But when you bring your focus back inside, you recharge. Peace is not about controlling more. It's about caring better for what's already in your hands. Let's make it practical. Imagine this. You've planned your day perfectly. But then, traffic hits. Someone cancels. Plans fall apart. Your old habit might be to tense up, to think, why can't anything go right? But this time, you breathe. You remind yourself, I can't control the delay, but I can control my reaction. So instead of frustration, you choose patience. Instead of anger, you choose acceptance. That's not weakness. That's mastery. Acceptance doesn't mean apathy. It means clarity. It means understanding what belongs to you and what doesn't. When you stop trying to hold the whole world together, you finally have the strength to hold yourself together. There's another layer to this paradox. When you loosen your grip on control, you actually gain more influence because your energy becomes calm. And calm energy is magnetic. People trust it. Situations bend toward it. Opportunities appear around it. When your inner world is steady, the outer world often follows. So letting go is not losing power. It's reclaiming it. Let's call this the art of allowing. It's the skill of participating in life without forcing it to obey your every wish. It's saying, I'm doing my best, and I'll trust the rest. Try it right now. Think of something that's been weighing on you, something you can't quite fix or predict. Feel how your body tightens when you think about it. Now, imagine releasing it as if you're setting a balloon free into the sky. Watch it rise. Watch it fade. And say quietly, I release what I can't control. Notice the space that opens inside you when you do that. That space is peace. Letting go is a daily practice. Some days it's easy. Some days it's a struggle. But every time you choose release over resistance, you strengthen your calm. Because calm isn't built in quiet rooms. It's built in the middle of life, in traffic, in arguments, in uncertainty. Every challenge is a new chance to practice. You can't control the storm, but you can choose the way you stand in it. When you begin to live this way, something beautiful happens. Your relationships soften. You listen more. You demand less. Your mind becomes lighter. And even when life moves in directions you didn't expect, you stop seeing it as punishment. You start seeing it as guidance. So here's your reflection for today. What are you trying to control that isn't truly yours? And what peace might return if you decided to let it go? Take a breath. Inhale trust. Exhale control. Again. Inhale peace. Exhale resistance. That's it. That's the practice. Every breath a reminder you are not here to control the tide. You are here to learn how to float. And when you can float, you stop fighting the current. You begin to flow with life instead of against it. In that flow, you rediscover something profound, the joy of simply being. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to reset your emotions when the storm returns. Because calmness isn't about staying still, it's about knowing how to return to peace. Again and again, there will be days when your calm feels distant, when your thoughts are heavy and your chest feels tight, when you wake up tired, not from lack of sleep, but from carrying too much. This is the moment to reset. Your mind is like water. When it's still, it reflects everything clearly. But when it's stirred, you see only distortion. To see clearly again, you don't need to control the water. You simply let it settle. That's what this chapter is about. Learning to settle, learning to reset. Every emotion leaves an echo in your body. Anger tightens your jaw. Worry knots your stomach. Sadness sits heavy in your chest. Your body remembers. even when your mind pretends it's fine. So the first step to reset your mind is not thinking differently, it's feeling honestly. When a strong emotion hits, don't rush to escape it. Pause. Close your eyes. Ask quietly, what am I feeling right now? Maybe it's frustration. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's disappointment. Name it. That's all. Because when you name a feeling, you tame it. The brain calms down simply by recognizing what's true. This is the name it to tame it principle, and it works every time. Now, add your breath. Breath is the bridge between body and mind. It's the reset button that's always with you. Here's a simple pattern. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Do it 3 times. Inhale calm. Hold presence. Exhale tension. With every breath, you are teaching your nervous system that you are safe. You are reminding yourself, I'm still here. I can handle this moment. It sounds simple, but that's the beauty of it. Your body was built for this. The problem is most of us don't breathe. We survive in half breaths, in shallow inhales that never reach our belly, and a shallow breath creates a shallow mind. So, reset your mind by deepening your breath. Let it be slow. Let it be kind. Sometimes, you don't even need words. Just a breath and a pause. That's enough to shift everything. Now let's bring your body in, because emotions live not just in thoughts, but in movement. Stand up. Stretch your arms. Roll your shoulders back. Walk slowly. Even just across the room. Feel your feet grounding on the floor. This simple movement tells your body the danger is over. The moment your body calms, your thoughts follow. Because your mind listens to your body's signals. You can also reset your mind through touch. Rinse your hands with cool water. Press your palm over your heart. Feel your pulse. Let that rhythm remind you life keeps moving forward. So can you. Sometimes, a mental reset is as small as a change of scenery. Step outside for 1 minute. Look up at the sky. Notice something that doesn't need fixing: a tree, a cloud, a sound in the distance. The world keeps going, even when your mind feels stuck. This realization alone can bring you peace. Now, let's go deeper. Every thought you repeat becomes a groove in your mind. If you always focus on problems, your brain gets better at finding them. If you focus on peace, your brain gets better at creating it. This is the science of neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself based on what you practice. So, practice calm. Practice presence. Next time anxiety appears, instead of saying, I can't handle this, say, I'm learning to handle this. That one word, learning, turns panic into progress. Reset is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing a better lens. You can look at a problem as a weight or as a workout. One exhausts you, the other strengthens you. Here's a reflection you can use daily when something feels heavy. Ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? You may not get an answer right away, but the question itself opens a door inside you. And through that door, peace enters quietly. Another way to reset your mind is through sound. Soft, instrumental music, the hum of rain, even silence, real silence, can cleanse the clutter inside. Sometimes, calm isn't something you create. It's something you remember, because deep down, you already know how to be still. You were born with that knowing. You've just forgotten. Resetting your mind is a homecoming. A return to your natural state, clear, light, and steady. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions to begin. You just need 1 minute, one breath, one moment of awareness. If your mind feels crowded today, pause right now. Notice your thoughts, but don't chase them. Let them come. Let them go. You're not your thoughts. You're the space behind them. That's where peace lives. And every time you return to that space, you strengthen it. So, when life feels too fast, remember, you don't need to escape the storm. You only need to reset the wind inside you. Each breath is a chance to begin again. Pause, a doorway back to peace. And when you make this practice a habit, your calm no longer depends on what happens around you. It becomes who you are. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to protect that energy, how to build daily rituals that keep your peace alive. Even in the busiest world, gratitude. It's a simple word, yet it holds a quiet kind of magic. When life feels heavy, gratitude lightens it. When your mind feels noisy, gratitude softens the sound. It doesn't erase pain, it transforms how you hold it. Most people think of gratitude as a polite thank you. But real gratitude is deeper than words. It's a way of seeing, a way of remembering that even in chaos, something good still breathes underneath it all. The truth is, life will never stop being imperfect. You'll still face problems, still make mistakes, still have days that ache. But gratitude doesn't wait for life to be perfect. It's the practice of finding meaning, even when things are messy. Start here, take a slow breath. Look around you. Right now, there are small things holding you together, the air in your lungs, the light touching your skin, the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat. You don't have to earn them. They're gifts that arrive every second you're alive. The mind loves to chase what's missing. Gratitude brings it home to what's already here. Here's a practice you can try tonight. Before you sleep, whisper 3 things you're grateful for. Not big things, small ones. A kind text, a moment of laughter, a warm drink. The more ordinary, the better. Because the secret is, this ordinary gratitude turns into extraordinary peace. Science has proven it. People who write down 3 gratitudes a day sleep better, worry less, and recover faster from stress. It's not magic. It's perspective. And perspective changes everything. But let's go a little deeper. What about the days that hurt, the ones that make you want to close your heart instead of open it? Can you still find gratitude there? This is what I call the gratitude twist. It means finding light in the shadow. It means saying, I didn't want this, but maybe it's teaching me something. Think back to a hard moment in your past, something you thought would break you. And now, years later, you see it differently. Maybe it made you stronger. Maybe it made you kinder. That's gratitude's deeper power, turning pain into wisdom. You can practice this consciously. When something goes wrong, pause and ask, what could this be giving me that I can't see yet? You don't have to force an answer. The question itself shifts your focus from resistance to curiosity, and curiosity opens the door to calm. Sometimes gratitude looks like this, not smiling, not pretending everything's fine, but quietly whispering, I'm thankful I can feel. I'm thankful I'm still here. Even that is enough. When you live with this kind of gratitude, life becomes softer. You stop rushing past the small moments. You start tasting your coffee instead of just drinking it. You start listening instead of just waiting to reply. You start seeing instead of just looking. That's the real gift of gratitude. It brings you back to the present. Here's another beautiful exercise. Once a week, Write a short letter of thanks. It could be to a person or to life itself. You don't have to send it. Just write it. Let your heart speak freely. This letter will remind you that even when things fall apart, there's still love hidden inside the cracks. Gratitude doesn't deny the pain, it balances it. It says, yes, this hurts. And yes, I still have something good. Try it when you wake up. Before checking your phone, say one quiet thank you for the roof above you, for the breath within you, for one more sunrise. This single act resets your day before it even begins. Because gratitude and anxiety cannot share the same space, one will always dissolve the other. And when gratitude grows, so does compassion. You begin to see people differently. You stop judging so quickly. You start understanding that everyone is carrying something unseen. That awareness makes you gentler and strangely stronger too. Gratitude doesn't make you passive. It doesn't mean settling. It means standing in the storm and still being able to say, there's beauty here, and I choose to see it. You can even practice gratitude toward yourself. Thank your body for holding you. Thank your heart for still believing. Thank your past self for surviving. Gratitude isn't about perfection, it's about recognition. And the more you recognize the good, the more good you begin to notice. So tonight, when you close your eyes, think of one difficult moment you faced today. Then ask, what hidden gift might this moment be offering me? Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's courage. Maybe it's letting go. Whatever it is, thank it quietly. Because every challenge is a teacher. And gratitude is how we listen. One breath. One, thank you. That's how peace begins. And when you live this way, you no longer need everything to go right in order to feel right. You become steady because your joy no longer depends on circumstance. It depends on awareness. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to protect that awareness, how to keep your energy balanced through simple daily rituals that turn calmness into a lifestyle. Energy is invisible, but you can feel it everywhere. You feel it when you wake up rested and alive. You feel it when your heart is heavy, and every small task feels like climbing a hill. Your energy shapes your entire world, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you love. So, protecting it isn't selfish. It's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give peace if you're running on exhaustion. And yet, most of us do exactly that. We spend our energy as if it's unlimited, and wonder why we're constantly drained. Here's the truth. Your energy is your most sacred resource, and how you manage it determines how peaceful you feel. The first step is awareness. Start by noticing where your energy goes. Imagine your day as a battery. Every person, every thought, every habit either charges it, drains it, or leaves it unchanged. This is what I call an energy audit. At the end of your day, take a quiet minute and list the main things you did. Next to each activity, describe how it affected your energy. Say positive if it gave you energy. Say negative if it drained you. And say neutral if it didn't change much. Be honest with yourself. For example, scrolling on your phone for too long, that's negative. A quiet walk in nature, that's positive. Talking with someone who really listens, positive. And arguing about something you can't control, definitely negative. You'll start to see patterns, and that awareness alone will change everything. After a week, look at your list. You'll see patterns. You'll realize how many small leaks your energy has. Awareness is powerful. Because once you see the leaks, you can begin to close them. That's where rituals come in. Rituals are not routines. Routines are things you do out of habit. Rituals are things you do with intention. A ritual is a signal to your mind. This moment matters. You can turn ordinary moments into rituals. Making tea can be a ritual. Lighting a candle before work. Writing one line in a journal before bed. Sitting in silence for 60 seconds before you speak. Each of these tiny acts anchors your mind in the present. They remind you to slow down, to breathe, to be here. I call this your anchor ritual. You can create one for the morning and one for the evening. In the morning before touching your phone, sit for a minute. Breathe. Think of one word that captures how you want to feel today. Peaceful, strong, kind, focused. Whisper that word as a quiet intention. That's your morning anchor. At night, dim the lights. Take 3 slow breaths and write down one thing you're grateful for. Let that be your closing anchor. Anchors are small, but they keep you steady when the world pulls you in every direction. Some people think they don't have time for rituals, but the truth is you don't have time not to, because rituals don't steal time, they create presence. Even 5 minutes of intention can change the energy of your entire day. Let's imagine this. You wake up rushing, checking messages, running late. Your mind is already full before the day begins. That's chaos energy. Now imagine you start instead with 3 slow breaths, a sip of water, and one calm thought, I have enough time to move slowly. That's peace energy. The same day, but a completely different vibration. Your energy teaches the world how to treat you. When you move with calm, people mirror it. When you speak from stillness, others listen more deeply. When you honor your limits, the universe sends you more strength. So guard your energy like something sacred, not with walls, but with awareness. If something feels heavy, pause before saying yes. If a conversation drains you every time, you have permission to step back. Boundaries are not rejection, they're self-respect. Energy is contagious. The calmer you become, the more calm you spread. You don't have to fix others, just be grounded, and they'll feel it. That's how peace expands quietly. Naturally, there's another side to energy. Most people overlook recovery. Even positive energy needs rest. Joy without rest becomes burnout. Focus without rest becomes pressure. So make rest part of your ritual. Rest doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what restores you. Listening to music, taking a slow walk, watching the sunset in silence. These are not luxuries, they're maintenance for your soul. If you practice this daily, you'll notice something shift. You'll stop reacting so quickly. You'll start responding with grace. And your peace will feel less like a visitor and more like a home. Here's a small exercise to end your day with. 1. Sit quietly for 1 minute. 2. Recall one thing that lifted your energy today. 3. Recall one thing that drained it. 4. Whisper, I keep what fills me. I release what empties me. Simple, gentle, and incredibly powerful. Because calm doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing with awareness. Every moment can be sacred if you bring presence into it. And that's the secret. The real source of energy is not control, not effort, but attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So choose carefully. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to reshape that attention even deeper, how to rewrite the stories you tell yourself, and transform your inner voice from a critic into a calm, guiding friend. There's a voice inside your head. It talks every day quietly, constantly. You hear it when you wake up, when you make a mistake, when you look in the mirror. Sometimes that voice is kind. It says, "You can do this." Other times, it whispers things that hurt. "You're not good enough. You always fail." Why even try? That voice shapes everything. It decides how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. But here's the truth. You are not that voice. You are the one who hears it. And because you can hear it, you can also change it. Most of us were never taught how to talk to ourselves. We learned how to speak to others, to be polite, gentle, encouraging, but not how to do that for ourselves. So our inner voice becomes an echo of old fears, old expectations, old pain. But it doesn't have to stay that way. You can rewrite it. You can train your inner voice to become your calmest, strongest ally. Start with awareness. The next time your mind says something harsh, don't try to shut it up. Just notice it. Catch the words. For example, when the voice says, "I'm so stupid," pause and say quietly, "Interesting. My mind just said that." That simple step, noticing, creates distance. You step out of the emotion and into awareness. Now, go deeper. Ask yourself, would I say that to someone I love? If not, then why say it to yourself? This is where the rewrite begins. Take the harsh statement and turn it into something true, but kind. Instead of, "I always fail," say, "I didn't get it right yet, but I'm learning." Instead of, "I'm terrible at this," say, "I'm improving every time I try." Instead of, "No one cares," say, "I'm learning to care for myself first." Your brain listens. It believes what you repeat. So if you repeat pain, you deepen the wound. If you repeat compassion, you begin to heal. This isn't fake positivity. It's emotional honesty with warmth. It's choosing truth that supports you instead of truth that destroys you. You can also name your inner critic. Give it a funny or gentle name like the worrier or old echo. So when it starts speaking, you can smile and say, "Oh, that's just old echo again." Naming it helps you remember that it's not you. Here's a small exercise. Take a notebook. Draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write common phrases your mind uses to criticize you. On the right, rewrite them into supportive ones. For example, "I'm not enough. I'm growing into who I'm meant to be. I can't handle this. I've handled hard things before. I'll handle this too. I'm behind. I'm moving at the pace that's right for me." Do this for a week. You'll start noticing the shift. Your mind will begin to echo the new script naturally. Another powerful practice is future self-dialogue. Imagine your wiser, calmer self, the version of you 5 years from now, who has already healed, already found peace. Now, imagine they're sitting beside you. What would they say? Probably something gentle. Something like, "It's okay. You're learning. Keep going." Write that message down. Read it when your mind gets loud. That's your inner guidance, the real voice beneath the noise. Self-talk isn't just mental. It changes your energy. Words are vibrations. They shift how your body feels. Try saying, "I'm tired" a few times. Notice how your shoulders drop, how your breath shortens. Now say, "I'm resting and recharging." Feel the difference. your energy responds instantly. That's why gentle language matters. The words you feed yourself become the environment you live in. Think of your mind like a garden. Negative thoughts are weeds. They grow fast, and they spread quietly. Positive thoughts are seeds. They take time, but with care, they blossom. You don't fight the weeds by yelling at them. You simply plant more flowers. Every time you speak kindly to yourself, you plant another flower, and soon, the garden starts to bloom. There will still be days when the old voice returns, when you fall back into old habits of doubt. That's okay. Don't fight it. Just notice it, and return to your new voice. Healing isn't about never falling back. It's about returning faster each time. One more practice. Speak your affirmations out loud. Morning or night, say them with feeling, not as empty lines, but as reminders of truth. Try these. I am safe in this moment. I am capable and calm. I release what I can't control. I'm proud of how far I've come. Let the sound of your own voice comfort you, because when you speak to yourself with love, your nervous system relaxes, your breath deepens, your energy softens. You begin to trust yourself again, and that trust, that's peace. Over time, this new inner voice becomes your foundation. It guides your choices. It protects your energy. It reminds you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. So, talk to yourself kindly, because you're always listening. In the next chapter, we'll take that inner calm and anchor it deeper, turning it into daily habits and grounding rituals that keep you centered. No matter what storms come your way, kindness is quiet power. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention, but it changes everything it touches. Every small act of kindness is like a light in the dark. Sometimes it's a smile, a patient silence, a hand on someone's shoulder. Other times, it's choosing not to react when anger wants to take over. Kindness doesn't always look grand. Most of the time, it's invisible but deeply felt. The truth is, kindness is not only for others, it's medicine for your own heart. When you choose kindness, you soften the walls that pain once built inside you. And when those walls fall, peace begins to enter again. People often say, "I'll be kind when they deserve it." But that's not kindness. That's transaction. True kindness asks for no return. It's strength, not weakness, because it takes courage to stay gentle in a world that rewards hardness. So today, start small. One act of kindness per day. That's all. Say thank you, not out of habit, but with presence. Listen fully to someone without interrupting. Send a message to check on a friend. Hold the door for a stranger. Smile, even when no one expects it. It might seem small, but these moments ripple. One act of kindness can travel further than you think, from one person to another and another, until it circles back to you. And here's something to remember. Kindness doesn't drain you. It replenishes you. Because every time you choose kindness, you align with peace. But kindness has a twin: forgiveness. And forgiveness is where kindness meets freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying, "What happened was okay." It means saying, "I won't carry this pain any longer." Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and hoping someone else gets sick. You think it protects you, but it only hurts you. The mind loves to replay the wound, the words they said, the moment it broke, the injustice that never felt right. But every replay reopens the cut. Forgiveness is the decision to stop reopening, It's not an instant process. It's a gentle release, one layer at a time, one breath at a time. Here's a practice you can try: the letter of release. Find a quiet space. Take a pen and paper. Write a letter to the person you're still holding pain toward. Don't hold back. Write everything you wish. You could say the anger, the sadness, the confusion. Be rough, be real. Then, when you're done, read it once slowly and say, "I release you, and I release myself." You don't have to send the letter. Just writing it sets your heart free. Because forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. You're not excusing the pain, you're ending its power over you. You're reclaiming your energy. Some people think forgiveness is weak. It's not. It's one of the bravest things you can do. It takes strength to let go when you have every reason to hold on. But when you do, you feel lighter, as if your soul finally exhales. You might notice, as you forgive others, you start to forgive yourself too. The two are connected, because the same compassion that softens toward others eventually turns inward. We're all imperfect. We've all said things we regret, made choices we wish we hadn't. Kindness means giving yourself the same patience you give to a friend. When you forgive yourself, you stop fighting your past. You stop trying to rewrite it. You begin to walk beside it instead, learning from it, but not defined by it. Here's a small reflection you can try tonight. Ask yourself, who needs my kindness today? Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a stranger. Maybe it's me. Then ask, what am I still holding on to that's keeping my heart heavy? Take one deep breath. Exhale the answer. That's the beginning of forgiveness. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing. Because when you are, the universe starts to move with you. Your heart becomes lighter, your energy cleaner, your peace stronger. Kindness opens the door. Forgiveness lets you walk through it. Together, they make the soul spacious again. So choose kindness not because the world always deserves it, but because you do. And choose forgiveness not because they earned it, but because you're ready to be free. In the next chapter, we'll explore what happens when that kindness extends beyond yourself, when peace turns into connection, and you learn how to be your true self while staying open to others. We all crave connection, to be seen, to be understood, to be accepted not for what we do, but for who we are. Yet somewhere along the way, many of us learn to wear masks. We hide parts of ourselves to fit in, to feel safe, to be liked. And for a while, it works. Until one day, you look around and realize that everyone likes the version of you that isn't real. And that realization feels lonely, even when you're surrounded by people. True peace begins when you decide to show up as yourself again. Connection doesn't start with others. It starts with you. Because how you connect inwardly shapes every bond outwardly. When you are at peace with who you are, you no longer need others to complete you. You simply share your wholeness with them. The first step to authentic connection is presence. Most people don't listen. They wait for their turn to speak. But when you truly listen, you create space for another soul to breathe. So try this simple practice: active listening. Next time you're in a conversation, put away distractions. Look into their eyes. Listen not to reply, but to understand. Don't fill the silence. Let it hold meaning. When people feel heard, they feel safe. And when they feel safe, they open their hearts. That's connection, not through words, but through presence. But there's another kind of connection that's just as vital, the one between you and your own emotions. Many of us are afraid to express what we really feel. We hide pain behind smiles, or turn anger into silence. We fear being too much. But what's unspoken doesn't disappear, it just hides deeper. Expression is release. It's how emotion becomes movement again. Try journaling raw emotions. Take 5 minutes and write exactly what you feel without censoring, without judging, without trying to sound wise. If you're angry, write it. If you're sad, let the words cry for you. No one will see it but you. Writing transforms feelings into form, and once they have form, they stop controlling you from the shadows. You can also express yourself through creativity. 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes. Draw, sing, dance, write, play music. Cook, whatever lets you feel alive again. You don't do it to be perfect. You do it to reconnect. Because creativity is not about art. It's about honesty. It's your soul saying, "This is who I am." When you allow yourself to express freely, you stop bottling emotions. You let them flow, and that flow becomes freedom. And something beautiful happens. You start attracting people who match your honesty. You no longer need to pretend. You no longer chase approval. The right people feel like peace, not performance. Remember, you don't need hundreds of connections. You need a few real ones. People who see you without fixing you, who listen when words fail, who remind you of your light when you forget it. And those connections begin when you choose to be authentic. There's courage in showing who you are. It's not always easy. But every time you choose truth over image, you strengthen your inner peace. Here's a simple reflection for your day. When was the last time you expressed yourself honestly without fear of judgment? And how did that feel? That feeling is freedom. That's your true self breathing again. Connection and expression also require boundaries. You can open your heart without letting the world walk through it. Boundaries are the bridges that keep love flowing without losing yourself in the process. Say yes with sincerity. Say no with peace. Both are acts of self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, you teach others how to love you. Every real connection is built on honesty. And honesty begins with inner alignment, your words matching your truth, your actions matching your heart. You'll know you're aligned when being yourself feels easy, not exhausting. Here's something to remember. Your authenticity is not too much. It's exactly what the world needs from you. The way you laugh, the way you care, the way you see beauty in small things, those are gifts. And the more you hide them, the darker the world becomes. So don't shrink to fit. Shine to connect. The right people won't be blinded by your light. They'll glow beside you. When connection is real, it doesn't demand, it accepts, it flows. When expression is honest, it doesn't seek applause. It simply releases. Together, they form the heart of peace, to be known, to be seen, to be loved, exactly as you are. And in that space, loneliness dissolves, because you finally realize you were never disconnected, just hiding. Now, you've come back to yourself, and that's where true connection begins. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to stay steady when change arrives, how to remain grounded and resilient even when life shifts beneath your feet. Change is the only constant. It arrives without warning, sometimes as a gentle breeze that moves the curtains, other times as a storm that rearranges your entire world. A friend drifts away. A plan fails. A season of life ends quietly. You wake up one morning, and nothing feels familiar anymore. And though we all know change is inevitable, it still hurts when it comes, because every change demands a small goodbye to a version of you, to a dream, to something that once felt safe. It's okay to feel that ache. It's human to miss what was, but resilience is the bridge between what was and what will be. It's the gentle strength that whispers, I can bend, and I won't break. Resilience doesn't mean you don't cry. It means you cry, and still find the courage to stand. Think of bamboo in a storm. It bends low, almost to the ground, but never snaps, because its strength lies in flexibility. That's the lesson. You don't have to be hard to be strong. You just have to be rooted. When change arrives, our first instinct is to resist. We cling to the past. We replay old memories, wishing we could freeze time. But resisting change doesn't stop it. It only makes it heavier. Peace begins when you stop fighting the wave and learn how to float with it. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask softly, what might this be teaching me? Because every change carries a message, even the painful ones. Sometimes it's showing you what's real. Sometimes it's removing what no longer serves you. And sometimes it's simply clearing space for something new to grow. You've survived so much already. Think about it. Moments that broke your heart, plans that didn't work out, times you thought, I can't do this. But you did. You're still here, still breathing, still becoming. That's resilience. It doesn't roar. It doesn't shout. It shows up quietly in small, steady acts of faith. Resilience is the strength to start again. It's saying, this hurts, but I'll keep moving. Here's something to remember. You can't always choose what life brings, but you can always choose how you respond. And that choice, that one pause between what happens and what you do next, is where your true power lives. When life feels uncertain, pause before reacting. Breathe deeply. Let your body catch up to your mind. Then ask, what can I control right now? The answer is usually simple: your breath, your words, your next step. That's enough. Because peace is not built from giant leaps. It's built from gentle, mindful steps forward. Here's a practice that will help you grow stronger through Change the Growth Journal. Once a week, write about one challenge you faced. Describe what happened, how it made you feel, and what you learned. Maybe you discovered patience. Maybe you found courage you didn't know you had. Maybe you realized it's okay not to have control. When you do this regularly, you'll start to see a pattern not of loss, but of evolution. You'll notice that every ending was quietly preparing you for a new beginning. Because growth often hides inside discomfort. Pain is not a punishment. It's an invitation. Sometimes change looks cruel at first, but later you see it was grace in disguise. A redirection, not a rejection. There's a quiet wisdom that comes from trusting the process. You stop rushing to fix everything. You stop needing all the answers. You start to believe that life, somehow, knows what it's doing. And when you trust that, you stop gripping so tightly. You move through transitions with grace instead of fear. True resilience isn't control. It's surrender with awareness. It's saying, I don't know what's next, but I trust myself to handle it. That trust, that's peace. Try this next time life changes suddenly. 1. Acknowledge it. Say, This is hard. That's honesty. 2. Breathe. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale longer through your mouth. That's regulation. 3. Reframe. Ask, what could this be making space for? That's perspective. Those 3 steps turn chaos into clarity. Not by fixing the situation, but by changing your state inside it. Sometimes, change feels like losing ground, but often, it's just shifting soil so your roots can go deeper. Even nature understands this. The seasons change constantly, not to destroy, but to renew. Winter makes way for spring. The tree lets go of its leaves, not because it's dying, but because it knows new ones will come. You, too, are allowed to shed, to rest, to begin again. Resilience also means allowing rest. Even strength needs silence. Even healing needs pauses. Rest doesn't mean quitting. It means gathering power. It's the stillness before the next rise. And when you rise, you'll notice you're calmer, wiser, more centered than before. Because every fall refines you. Every ending teaches you how to begin again with softer hands and a stronger heart. Here's a truth worth holding close. You are not behind. You are becoming. Life is not rushing you, it's reshaping you. The next time you face change, don't ask for things to stay the same. Ask for the strength to stay yourself through the change. That's the essence of resilience. Not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of steadiness. And one day, you'll look back at the moments you thought would break you and realize they built you. They gave you the wisdom that calm cannot teach. You'll see that the storm didn't ruin you. It revealed you. Because resilience isn't about surviving every storm. It's about learning to dance in the rain, trusting that the sun will return, and knowing that even if it doesn't, you'll still find light within yourself. So when life shifts again, as it always will, meet it with a steady heart. Say quietly, I trust the change, I trust the timing, and I trust myself. That is the strength the world cannot shake. That is resilience. In the final chapter, we'll explore what happens when your peace overflows, when your strength turns into compassion, and your calm becomes a gift you share with others. Because the end of every inner journey is the beginning of giving back. There's a quiet kind of joy that doesn't come from getting, but from giving, not giving to impress, not giving to be seen, but giving because your heart is full and it naturally wants to overflow. When you reach this place of peace, you realize something profound. The purpose of inner calm is not to keep it locked inside, but to let it ripple outward. Because calm energy heals more than words ever could. It softens rooms. It slows chaos. It reminds others that peace is possible. Giving is not just an action. It's a vibration, a frequency of love that moves quietly through everything you do. When your energy is gentle, your presence alone becomes a gift. You don't have to do grand things. Sometimes, the smallest gestures carry the biggest impact. A sincere compliment, a moment of listening, a kind word when someone is hurting, a patient silence instead of a harsh reaction. That's how giving begins, small, simple, sincere. You never know what a small act might do. One word of kindness can change someone's entire day. Sometimes, it can even change their life. And here's the beautiful part. The more you give, the more you receive, not from others, but from within. Because every time you give, you remind your soul that it has more than enough. Generosity isn't about abundance in your wallet. It's about abundance in your spirit. Even when you think you have little, you still have something precious to share: your time, your patience, your care, your attention. And when you give from that place, you never run out, because kindness refills itself. You become a river, not a reservoir. Water that flows is always fresh. Water that's trapped becomes stale. The same is true for love, compassion, and peace. They grow when shared. Here's a practice for the week. Do one quiet act of giving every day. Don't announce it. Don't expect anything in return. Just let it be your small secret offering to the world. It could be a note of encouragement, a genuine smile to a stranger, or helping someone without being asked. The action itself doesn't matter, the energy behind it does. You'll start to notice something magical the more you give. The lighter you feel, because giving releases the illusion of separation. It reminds you that we're all part of one shared life. And that realization, that deep sense of connection, is joy. Forgiveness, from the last chapter, frees your heart. Kindness opens it, and giving allows it to expand beyond yourself. When you give, you're not losing anything. You're multiplying meaning. There's a story told in many cultures: a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. In fact, the room grows brighter. That's what happens when you give. You spread light, and suddenly, everyone can see clearer. Some people think giving makes them vulnerable, that if they give too much, they'll be left empty. But real giving doesn't deplete, it renews. Because you're not giving from fear or duty. You're giving from love. And love is endless. Here's something to reflect on. What kind of energy do you leave behind when you walk out of a room? Do people feel heavier or lighter after being around you? Your presence is your greatest gift. You don't have to force it. You just have to live with awareness. When your inner world is peaceful, it naturally spills into the outer world. That's the secret of the joyful giver. They don't give to others. They give through themselves. They become a channel for calmness, for hope, for light. If you want to deepen this practice, try keeping a giving journal. Each night, write one small thing you gave that day. It could be attention, kindness, or support. Then write one thing someone gave you. Notice how these moments weave together a quiet reminder that life is always in exchange. The more you pay attention, the more abundance you see, and you'll begin to understand giving and receiving are not opposites. They are two breaths of the same rhythm. Inhale, exhale, give, receive, flow, return. When that rhythm becomes natural, life starts to feel effortless. You move with grace. You stop keeping score. You give because it feels good to love. And that is freedom. Real joy doesn't come from accumulation. It comes from contribution, from knowing that in some small way, you made the world softer, that you turned pain into compassion, that your presence brought peace. And maybe that's what happiness truly is, not something you chase, but something you share. As you listen to this final chapter, pause for a moment and breathe. Feel your heart, the calm, steady rhythm inside your chest. That rhythm is your reminder you are alive. You are connected, and you have something beautiful to give. You don't need to change the world overnight. Just begin with the world around you. One kind act, one patient breath, one open heart at a time, because peace spreads like light, one spark, then another, and soon the whole room glows. When you give love, you become love. When you share calmness, you live in calmness. And when you give joy, it circles back again and again. That's the secret of a meaningful life, not in how much you achieve, but in how much light you leave behind. So go gently, but go boldly. Be the calm in someone's storm. Be the smile someone needed today. Be the reminder that kindness still exists, because that's what it means to live fully, to love freely, to forgive deeply, to give joyfully. And as you do, you'll discover the quiet truth that every great journey of peace always ends where it began, inside your own heart. Thank you for walking this path. May your calm continue to grow. May your kindness ripple wide. And may your light never stop shining. And here you are at the end of this journey. 10 chapters. 10 ways to come home to yourself. You've walked through storms. You've learned to breathe through chaos. To release what you can't control. To forgive. To stay soft. To give love freely. Maybe you didn't realize it, but somewhere along the way, you changed. Your breath became slower, your heart lighter, and that quiet strength you feel now, that's yours. It's always been. Remember this truth: peace was never something to find. It was something to remember. It's been waiting within you all along, beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the need to be perfect. You don't need to chase calm anymore. You are calm. You don't need to seek positivity. You are the source of it. So when life gets loud again, when the storms return, come back here. Revisit these words. Let them remind you how strong your peace can be. Because calm isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of how you'll walk through everything else. Take one last deep breath. Inhale gratitude. Exhale release. And feel your heart say, I am ready. If this audiobook brought you peace, if even one chapter helped you breathe easier tonight, consider subscribing to Sleep Success Audiobook. This channel is your safe space, a place where calm, clarity, and personal growth meet in every story. Join our community of quiet thinkers, of people who are learning just like you to live gently, to lie awake, and to live with peace that lasts. You can explore more audiobooks like this, one stories that heal, words that ground you, and voices that remind you you're never alone in your journey. So if you're ready for more nights of calm reflection and mornings that start with clarity, hit subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. And let your next moment of peace find you again. Because this isn't goodbye. It's just the next breath, the next chapter, the next quiet step toward yourself. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And most of all, thank you for choosing peace.